Hey debaters, so in this video I'm going to show you how to take your new evidence that you'll have as a varsity debater. Should look like this probably, right? Has pink, cream colored paper or ivory and green. Pretty nice little stack of it, and put it into your evidence binder. So you probably already have the rookie evidence. You might even have the novice evidence already. But if you have the rookie evidence already, on the left-hand side, when you first open your folder, right, on the left-hand side, you're going to see the example 1AC for school to prison pipeline, that's yellow. And then the example 1AC for the economic growth advantage, that's blue. And then you will have, in the actual three-ring binder itself, white index page, two white index pages, the plan text. Then pages 2 through 17, I think, are yellow. That's the school to prison pipeline advantage evidence. And then you'll get to the blue evidence, which starts actually on page 11. And on page 11, that's where the economic growth affirmative advantage evidence starts. Then, as you flip through, you get to white pages again, and it'll start at page 100. This is the negative side of the evidence. This is all the negative stuff. So these two indices are for school to prison pipeline and economic growth. Yellow is again school to prison pipeline. Blue is economic growth. And then in the back of the folder, on the right-hand side, right-hand pocket, you'll have the example 1NC, first negative constructed, for the school to prison pipeline answers and the economic growth answers. So how do we take the evidence that you just got, which is for divisions novice, junior varsity, and varsity? How do we take that and put it into the folder and make sure it's all organized? First of all, you have this sheet. It'll say, scan this QR code. That's how you got it, right? You can put that to the side. You don't need that. First thing up should be military spending trade-off disadvantage answers, example 2AC. So this is an example 2AC. So we know it belongs in the first pocket as we open the folder, same as the 1ACs. You can put it wherever you want in the pocket. I think it's better to put it right in the back, just in case you need it. You can take it out later. Then we have the example 2AC, state counterplan answers. And we have also the example 2AC, deschooling critique answers. So since they're both example 2ACs, we're going to take them, put them in the back of that first pocket as you open your folder, the left-hand side pocket. Okay, what's up next? What's up next is the index for the spending trade-off disadvantage answers. So since the spending, and you can see on the index, this starts at page 20, right? So if we open the affirmative side evidence and go to page 20, actually we'll go page 19, because what comes next is page 20. So let's crack open the binder, take out all that green evidence. And on the index, it says it should be pages 20 through 29. So double check. Do you have pages 20 through 29? Yep. So take it out, put it right behind that affirmative evidence that you have already. And now everything for the novice evidence, the answer to the disadvantage, is in your binder and ready to go. Next up is the affirmative states counterplan answers. And like you can see here, it starts on page 30, ends on page 33. So we know it comes right after the green evidence that we just put in. So take that out and stick it right behind this green evidence here. Boom. Okay, next up is this pink evidence. This is the affirmative deschooling critique answers, starts on page 33 and goes to page 42. Since it doesn't start with 100, we know it's affirmative. We know it goes right after this, right? So take out all that pink evidence. Go ahead, put it right in, right behind what you just put in. Okay, what's next? What's next is negative spending trade-off disadvantage, and it starts on page 122. So we know that's all the affirmative evidence. There's no more affirmative evidence. That's everything. Now we want to find page 122 so we can put this new disadvantage evidence in. So if you go all the way to the back of the evidence that's actually in the three-ring binder part of the binder, not in this pocket, but in the three-ring binder part, this last piece of evidence is page 121. So we know page 122 comes next. So take out all that green evidence. That's the answer to, or this is the spending trade-off disadvantage that the negative gets to bring up in the 1NC. This is all the evidence for it. Go ahead and stick it right at the end of the 3-ring binder there. Next up is this cream colored paper, ivory cream, whatever you want to call it. It's negative states counterplan. So it's on the negative side, starts on page 131 and ends on 135. So since this one ends on 130, we know this comes next, right? So go ahead, take out all that cream colored paper and put it right behind the green colored paper. That's all the counterplan evidence. That's all the junior varsity evidence. Goes right there. All right, next up is this pink evidence. It's the negative deschooling critique. And it starts on 136 and goes to 145. So since this piece of evidence was on 135, we know what comes next is 136. That means all this evidence, all the pink evidence here from 136 up to 145, put that together. That goes right at the end of the binder. Okay? And that's all the evidence for all of the debates for all the divisions. So you can close the binder up. That'll do it. These last 3 things we have here, we have a green, a cream, and a pink. These are all example 1NCs. So these are things you bring up in the 1NC. The purple one is the military trade-off disadvantage. The cream one is the state's counterplan. And the pink one is the deschooling critique. You'll notice the cream one and the green one, they accidentally printed on both sides. So just be aware. But they didn't for this pink one, which is nice. So these are your example 1NCs. If you want to use this in the 1NC to bring up these arguments, you can. Take these, all 3 of them, go to this right-hand pocket and slide them all in there. Boom, there we go. So as you hold your packet, as you open it up, here's how it should look. You open it up, immediately on your left, you have the example 1AC for the school to prison pipeline. You have the example 1AC for economic growth advantage. You have the example 2AC for the military spending trade-off disadvantage answers. Then you have the example 2AC for the state's counterplan answers. Then you have the example 2AC for the deschooling critique. As you get into the actual 3-ring binder part of the evidence, you'll find each argument in order with its own index. So when you start off right away, it'll be the school to prison, stopping school prison pipeline. Then it'll be the affirmative's economic growth, then plan text. Then we have the yellow. All the yellow is the stopping school prison pipeline argument, right? All the blue is economic growth. Then when we get to the green is the affirmative spending trade-off disadvantage answers. And these all start, they do not start with 100, right? They do not. All the 100s are later, in the negative file. After the green, we have the affirmative state counterplan, that's cream colored. And then finally, the last affirmative file is the affirmative's deschooling critique answers. And those are pink. So once we get through all of those, we reset and we get to the negative side's answers. Suddenly things start with the number 100. The page starts with 100. So we have negatives, stopping school prison pipeline advantage answers, and then economic growth answers. And again, starts with yellow. That's all the stopping school prison pipeline answers. And then we have blue. Blue is the economic growth advantage answers. Then we get to green. Green is the negatives spending trade-off disadvantage. So this is an argument the negative gets to bring up in their speeches. And then we have cream. Cream is the negatives state's counterplan. And then we have pink. That's the negatives deschooling critique. And that's all the actual evidence. What's left in the right-hand pocket is the example 1NC, first negative constructive arguments. And it should go yellow, blue, green, cream, and then pink, right? Because these are all the example 1ACs you could possibly use in your debates. That's what your folder should look like. if your folder looks like this, you're going to be totally ready for the debates. You're going to have a great time, and it's going to be much, much easier to use during your debates. So good luck and have fun, debaters.